Ovation. I love it.
Okay, we're back. It's early Saturday. I'm working on a pretty unique project. Unique in the sense that before this car actually got here, I didn't really know they existed. This is a turbo Trans Am, which is a factory turbo car. It's the same as a Buick Grand National, which I've worked on a Grand National before, but I've never seen the motor come stock in a Trans Am. So I welded up some fittings on this intake manifold for the car about 2 months ago, and he finally got it all together and brought me the car to do some more fab work on it. So what I'm going to do is rebuild the upper charge pipe and the intake, and also do a exhaust cutout on it. These cars, or the Grand Nationals, always came with this reinforced dryer duct type intake for the turbo. So we're going to go ahead and take all that off and make it out of 4-inch aluminum, and go ahead and build the upper charge pipe nicer, put the meth bung in it to get it all a real good fit and look. This car makes a lot of power. I believe it's a high 10-second car already, so we'll see if we can't help it get faster. So yeah, I'll go ahead and show you the car and get started on the cutout first, since I have to get it up in the air to do that. Then I'll put it back down and start working on the charge pipe and turbo intake. Now the car already has a cutout plumbed into it, which is a standard style that has a 3-bolt flange that it's capped off. This is actually it right here, and you just remove it and it's an automatic cutout, and then you finish the race or whatnot. You go back, put this back on, and drive back home. What we're going to convert that to is this new style, which is, in my opinion, the best. It's a wastegate basically in the throttle body that'll run off pressure, and when it sees the pressure, it'll open up. The thought was at first to just butt these up, but you can see there's a little gap there between the two, which is a simple fix. You notch it out. But once I took it apart, I could see that if I would have welded that way, you couldn't bolt it back up. So what I'm going to do is just space it out. I already cut a sleeve to go down in there, and I'll space it off of the flange so you can get the bolts back in, and then get it aligned to make sure it clears the floorboard and get it back on the car. So I'll go ahead and get this all tacked up, fit, and put on the car to make sure it all works well before I do the final welds on it. Alright, you can see I've got it disassembled and the gate ready to weld. What I'll go ahead and do is I got these two flanges bolted together to help keep it from warping. I'll weld up the bottom half, then take it back apart and get the throttle body side welded to it, get it all back purged, fit up, and it should be good to go once it's cooled off. Now while that flange is cooling off for the exhaust, I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled apart. What we're replacing is this 4-inch intake and this charge pipe, which is 3-inch now. I'm going to redo it in 2.5-inch by request to match the throttle body inlet size. So I'll get all this pulled apart. Actually, I'm just going to pull the upper charge pipe off first, because I'll rebuild this and I'll make sure I have ample clearance beneath it while that's in place, and then I'll build the 4-inch piece under it, and I know everything will work. Now I've got that piece off, and you may ask why go from a 3-inch to a 2.5-inch pipe, and the answer is basically airspeed and velocity. You can see this pipe was actually crushed down a little bit to fit properly. The outlet of that intercooler is actually 2.5-inch, and the throttle body is AccuFab that's 2 3/4. So I'll put a 2 3/4 to 2.5-inch coupler on there, and a 2.5-inch coupler on the intercooler, and we'll make the pipe 2.5-inch and put a nice bead roll. This is an old school way of doing it. Weld it and then grind the weld down to make a bead. I'll bead roll that, make it 2.5-inch, get it clear fine, and go from there. This is the fun part, where if this was, TV, they'd cut it out. I've done this pipe now 4 different ways. Each way fit from point A to point B, but the hood clearance, if I came straight out, would rub the hood. The hood's still shut, but it would rub it a little bit. So I've kept changing this to lower the angle and still get a perfect smooth fit and have space for the 4-inch to go up under it. So I think I've got it now where I like it. I'll go ahead and pull this back apart, tack these two, and start working on the intake pipe. that is it for the Turbo Trans Am project. We got the 4-inch turbo intake built, the 2.5-inch charge pipe built. I got it all reinstalled, along with the 3-inch wastegate cutout. I'm sorry, exhaust cutout done. So yeah, it's a wrap. It's going to go back this week to the owner. Hopefully it'll make the next Cars and Coffee or next track date whenever it opens back up, and we'll go from there on to the next project. I've got the Miata here also that I have to finish up, which is a turbo built motor build that I just have to make one charge pipe kit for it, and back to the regular fab, building the turbo kits for mail order and manifolds, charge pipes, intercoolers. So yeah, thanks for checking it out. I'll be back again with the next video. I realized I never put up the Camaro video that we did, so I'll try to get that put together and up as well. We did a 2017 Camaro SS and installed a Pro Charger kit, which we're now Pro Charger direct dealers. If you need one of those, definitely let me know. I'll get one to you. But again, thanks for checking it out.